Dog Retreat, owner and creator of the Little Dog Retreat and the littledogretreat.com. We are back today with a video about oral health care. So taking care of your dog's teeth and gums and how I brush my dog's teeth. Now, a couple quick things here. Bridget, my Chihuahua, is going to be my model for today. And this could be an epic win and really successful, or this could just be an epic fail. There are two things that my Chihuahua hates in the world. One is getting her nails clipped, and the other is getting her teeth cleaned. So we'll kind of see how it goes, but at least you can see the principles that I use to get her teeth clean. You can see Mercedes here in the background. She is also going to be my model in the event that I can't get Bridget to get her teeth brushed. Now, I have two distinct personalities. Bridget is a swaddler. I can flip her on her back, so she is submissive, and she will let me swaddle her. So that is how I do it. With Mercedes, she's an alpha, so she will not let me flip her on her back. As much as I try, as many years as I've tried, it doesn't really work that well. So what I do with her is I usually just wrap the blanket around her at a standing position, hold her to my chest, and get in her mouth. Now, there are two main principles you want to keep in mind when you're brushing your dog's teeth. Number one, this should not feel like torture. So, dogs do not really like having anything stuck in their mouth and poke and prod, but that shouldn't stop you or deter you from getting their teeth clean. So the other thing is that if you are going to do this, make sure that your dog feels like they're in a safe place. We happen to be on the bed right now. This is where I do their teeth cleaning. And then the other thing is to make sure that they know that it's a short experience. So you don't need to spend 30 minutes or 45 minutes scrubbing those teeth. They don't need to look perfect. They don't need to look like, your human mouth would. The basic principle you're going to choose to do is basically to get the gums clean and wrap around and wipe around the gums. And the other thing is just to try to get any debris out. So because dogs are dogs, they're still going to get stuff stuck in there. They're not going to let you really get in there. There are anesthesia-free teeth cleaning places you can go visit, or you can also go to your vet for a full rundown on their teeth where they do actually put them under anesthesia. I have done both experiences, and I've had positive experiences with both. For the years that I've had my dogs, my oldest is at 12 now, and so I have brushed her teeth back and forth throughout the years. So the more often you do it, the more accustomed they will become to getting their teeth brushed, and it will become easier both for you and your dog. And then also, the more often you do it, just the healthier their mouth will be. I have gone back and forth between doing it a lot to doing it never. So it really, it depends on your routine and what you're willing to put the time and effort into doing it. Your dogs will have a healthier lifestyle if they have a healthier mouth, because that just affects everything else in their body. So I'm going to go ahead and show you Bridget, and we'll see how she'll let me do it. A couple of the tools that I use are your basic canine toothbrush. This has a larger side and a smaller side. The smaller side is better for getting in the back. The larger side is better for the front. I have a standard human toothbrush. Now, I only use soft bristle toothbrushes, and you're going to want to only use soft bristle toothbrushes also for two reasons. Number one, it won't rip or tear at their gums. And number two, because dog teeth do not get brushed typically on a continuing basis, they're going to have possibly some loose teeth, some receding gum lines, and you don't want to hurt or injure their gums. The other thing I do have, and depending upon the mood of my dog, I can sometimes get in there and pick at actual particles that are stuck in there. And then I also have tweezers in case there's like something I can kind of pull off. So I'll show you how I do this. Now, for dog cleaning, what you're going to want to do basically is swaddle your dog. Large, small, tiny, medium, it doesn't matter the size. You're always going to want to swaddle them. Swaddle them like a baby so that their arms are kind of pushed in. This will help in making sure that you don't get scratched or they don't get hurt trying to run off. But also what it does is that compression actually puts your dog in a calmer state. So they feel safe, they feel secure, and when you're moving around in their mouth, they won't be as antsy or as anxious while you're doing it. So here's Bridget. So, I'll also mention what I'm using is my hydrogen peroxide. Hydrogen peroxide is fantastic for the mouth, and it even says it's a first aid antiseptic, so it'll take away any bacteria that is creating gum sensitivity or actually creating that plaque that actually inflames the gums. So you're going to use a 1-to-1 ratio. So 1 part hydrogen peroxide, 1 part water, lukewarm water, or room temperature water. And it doesn't have to be fancy. You're just gonna dip that toothbrush into that solution. So I'll show you, I have mine set up over here. So this is my water. I just use a little shot glass. And I'm literally gonna I have 2 caps full, so I'm gonna put 2 caps full of hydrogen peroxide into the shot glass. And this is just your standard, this is just a generic version of hydrogen peroxide, but you can get this anywhere online, pretty much any pharmaceutical place, grocery stores, everywhere will have this, Target, places like that. So, and then this is what it will look like. It'll just look like clear water, basically. And I'm gonna start with the small end of my toothbrush. I just kind of mix it up, and then you're just gonna let it soak. So there's nothing, it's not like paste where you're gonna scrub it on and then try to wipe it off. This is meant to be left in the mouth. So you only wanna do this roughly maybe once a week at most, just because they are going to be basically digesting and swallowing this a little bit and getting it into their system, but that's okay. It'll help heal the gums and heal the mouth. They can go ahead and swallow it as long as it's not a lot. So this is what I do. Now, if you want to brush your dog's teeth every day, there are various toothpastes, and I have used quite a few. Cane Enable makes a really good one that also smells good. It's got a mint base to it. I like that one a lot. But you can pretty much, so this is what it's going to look like, and it's just kind of dripping. And so then I'm going to take my pup, and she already knows this is happening. She sees the tools, so she's already a little bit anxious. So this is Bridget, and I have a large bath towel. So I have a large bath towel folded lengthwise in half. I'm gonna go ahead and flip Bridget and put her in here. Good girl, good girl. And then I'm just going to start to swaddle her up. And she knows it's coming, so she might start growling here in a second, and that's okay. You know, teeth brushing is not supposed to be the most fun experience for your dog. And here she goes. So we're just gonna get in there. And if you can see, I'm hoping you can see her in the video, okay? So I don't do a ton of agitation. Shh, it's okay. I don't do a ton of agitation. What I do is mostly get that in there, and then I allow her to kind of gum it. So she's gonna go as she's kind of growling and upset about it, and that's just agitating the gums and agitating the teeth and agitating any of the particulates that will come out. So we're gonna start with just the front. It's okay. I like to lift the gums with my thumb and then just kind of get in there. It's okay. Yeah. And you can see that she's starting to gum it. Yeah. It's okay. It's okay. It's okay. It's okay. Here, I'll get it. Now, Bridget has a pretty tiny mouth, so I don't use a lot of the big section. I know. There you go. And it's gum, 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 and agitate. Gum and agitate. I know. I know. I know. You're doing great. You're doing great. You'll notice a little bit of the particulates will come off from the toothbrush. That's good. That's what you're trying to get off, because that will actually cause the tooth decay and the plaque to build. Now, a little bit of a side note, your dog's gums may bleed from this, especially if you haven't done it, if you've never done it, or you haven't done it in a long time. That's okay. The hydrogen peroxide will actually help heal this. And now, I personally like to kind of test things on myself first before I actually do them on my dog. And I have done this in my own mouth. It doesn't sting and it doesn't hurt. It doesn't taste great. It's sort of a neutral flavor. Doesn't taste good, really doesn't taste that bad. But it's more, for your dog, it's more of the scary aspect of what are you doing and why am I not in control. So I'm just gonna go ahead and go back with the small toothbrush and then just allow her to naturally start. Good. There you go. Good. There we go. And so that was perfect. So she's just gonna I stick it in there, and then she starts to gnaw on it. And that's all you need to do. So we're gonna do the other side now. Here we go. Other side. It's okay. It's okay. It's okay. It's okay. I know. Mercedes is kind of freaking out over here. She's like, good. Good. And chew it. Good. That was great. That was great. So here she is. She's totally fine. She's totally safe. And she's just making noises because she doesn't want to be controlled and she doesn't want to be submitted right now, which is totally normal and totally fine. So, you know, that was maybe a minute to 2 minutes. If your dog has a ton of plaque, what I would recommend is just getting the hydrogen peroxide in there first, just so the gums start to heal, because once their gums are no longer inflamed, their mouth feels better. Just think of your mouth hurting. You don't want anyone sticking anything in there. Their mouth will feel better. And then once their mouth feels better, they'll be more apt to let you actually kind of start to agitate and brush. So I'll take her out of this, and then she's just happily being swaddled at the moment, and then I'll take her out. And you can see she's just happy as can be. Here, go ahead and rub. There you go. There you go. You're okay. She's okay. And then what you can do is just make sure, I always just kind of do a quick little rub down afterwards, just so they know that was a safe experience. Mommy loves you. Everything's okay. And then that way it'll help with the next time you want to actually go ahead and brush their teeth. So I'm going to show you what I do with my larger dog also, using a different toothbrush. This is just a human soft bristled toothbrush. Again, I'm just going to dip it into the hydrogen peroxide. Mercedes. Now Mercedes is more alpha. She does not like to be pinned. She does not like to be rolled over or submitted. So what I'm going to do with her, come on in. Yep. And she sees the tools. So your dog will react a little bit to whatever they're seeing. So if they know, like, this is toothbrushing time, I don't enjoy this, then they're going to start to try to curl up or hide or run off or not be as cooperative. And that's all right. That's normal. I'm going to go ahead and take the blanket. I'm just going to wrap it around her arms, just so she's in a nice little cuddle. And then what I'm going to do is now with Mercedes, she'll listen a little bit better. So usually we'll see if she'll participate today. Usually I can say open, open, open. Good. Open. 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 There we go. Oh, my kids are having a tantrum in the background. So, and then this is basically what we do. So we just sit, and this might take 30 minutes with her just because she's a little bit slower, and just as I have her open, and there we go. Perfect. And then she just nods on it. And what I'm looking for mostly, go ahead and open. Open. Good. 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 Yep. Open. Yep. Do another open. What I'm looking for mostly is to get it in the back teeth and then the front teeth. Now, Mercedes has had all of her groomers, which are the front main teeth where they would kind of like gnaw, kind of like on themselves and self-groom. She's had all of her groomers removed. So mostly I'll take a little soft cloth and do a quick wipe in there, but those don't contain any particles because there's just gums that have healed. So her back teeth are where she really needs it. And she did have recently some tooth decay that turned into blood poisoning. So for her in particular, I have been really making sure that I get those back teeth clean. And you'll see if I just hold it out, she'll start to gnaw on this. That's because she's used to it. Now she is shaking quite a bit because she doesn't enjoy tooth cleaning and she feels like somehow she's in trouble. But, you know, I will spend probably 30 minutes with her getting into her actual molar area and getting her, open. Good, good. And I'm talking to a camera, so she might be a little weirder. So once you're done doing this, the other thing you can do, once you're done doing this, is you can also just take some coconut oil, any everyday natural coconut oil, and wipe it in their mouth. Coconut oil is awesome. It is an anti-inflammatory, antibacterial, and antifungal. So it will actually help not only reduce the swelling that the gums may have because of any tooth decay or any plaque buildup and an infection that might be occurring because of that. So it'll take down the swelling, but it will also help with all the bacteria. So it'll start to kill off some of the bacteria that's causing the plaque. And it tastes good. So your dog is more apt to let you brush their teeth with the coconut oil than just the hydrogen peroxide. Now the hydrogen peroxide is going to take out the sort of the poisoning aspect of the tooth decay. And that's really important, especially right now because my Italian Grey did have a situation with that. So if your dog has any kind of situation with that, definitely I would say start with the hydrogen peroxide. and just get it into their mouth, get it around their mouth into their gums. And then once that's actually worked its magic, so, you know, about 4 or 5 days later, do it again with the hydrogen peroxide. The first time you do it again, you might see bleeding, and that's okay. It's just like a normal human mouth. You know, if you start flossing and you haven't flossed in years, your gums are weaker, so they're gonna bleed. And that's normal for your dog too. So a little bleeding's totally fine. You'll notice after the first or second time, the gums won't bleed anymore because they've actually healed. And then once that's occurred, you can start using the coconut oil to get the brushing in there, just because you just want to agitate the actual particles that get stuck. Just like humans, you know, your dogs are chewing their kibble, they're chewing their food, and particles are going to get stuck in there and lodge, and then they cause plaque, and then that causes a tooth decay, and then that can kind of just escalate. So what's another way you can kind of keep your dog's teeth clean without actually brushing them if you were really apprehensive about brushing them? You can use things like bully sticks or chews to kind of get in there. In my experience, they don't work that well. So unless you have a dog who loves gnawing on like the dehydrated bones or the chew sticks, some dogs do, like dachshunds love that kind of stuff, then otherwise it's not going to help you that much. So I've given my dogs a ton of chews and it never has cleaned their teeth, no matter what they claim on the packaging. So really, for me, there's no substitute for brushing. Now, in addition to that, you can put a little bit of the hydrogen peroxide in their natural drinking water, or like I've mentioned in other videos, the natural chicken bouillon that I've made, where it's boiled chicken water. You can put a little hydrogen peroxide in there and they'll lap that up. Again, as an antiseptic, it'll help to kill any of the bacteria and reduce the swelling. Now, I do want to make a side note. If you are really scared of getting into your dog's mouth, let's say you love your dog, but your dog just shows you all teeth and they start growling, and that's like the only time you're like, I'm like scared of my dog. So that's okay. That's natural, but your dog will sense that. So if you have a really submissive, passive dog, chances are they're just going to whimper or whine or kind of just, you know, look distressed, but they're not going to try to get aggressive with you. That's totally great. Just kind of work at it. They'll get used to it eventually, and it'll just be like anything mama does, playing with their ears, playing with their tail, playing with their paws. Now mama plays, or daddy plays with their mouth also. So you always want to touch your dog, you know, and so desensitizing them to the sensation of petting and the sensation of massage is going to really help aid you in doing the things you need to do to keep them healthy. So you can start out with just an ear massage, get into the jaw, and then start massaging the jaw. Your dog will start to get used to you touching their jaw, touching their mouth. Your dog should always be able to have you stick your fingers around and in their mouth. So obviously, if they do have an underlying problem like tooth decay that's causing an infection, it's going to hurt. So they're not going to want it. They're going to want to get away. They're going to try to run away. But in general, if you have a puppy or a young dog who doesn't have any of that yet, get used to doing that now, because it will aid in any kind of change. You'll know it, number one, right away when it happens. But number two, you'll also want to actually be able to feel their teeth. So you'll be able to kind of get in there, and then toothbrushing will become a breeze. So again, if you have a dog that's passive and easy, just get them started. Just starting to desensitize to that mouth sensation of you getting in there. If you have a dog that's more alpha, or a little bit more on the assertive or aggressive side, where they just don't want you to do certain things, that's okay too. Again, first start with desensitizing them to it. So you're going to start with the massage their head, massage their ears. If there's any other part of their body they don't like touched, try to get in there. Try to get into the hip flexors so that their body just feels relaxed and calm. I also did a video on massage, so you can check out that, so you can really know where to touch your dog. But really get in there. So once they're desensitized, then start to just, you know, touch their gums. You don't have to have a toothbrush. You don't have to have any kind of purpose of cleaning. You just want to get in there so they know that you are doing it in a safe, loving way. Now, I don't try to even bother flipping over my Alpha anymore, because my Italian Greyhound is so resistant. I feel like she'll snap her neck before she lets me, you know, get into her mouth to clean it. So I am genuinely concerned about that. So I, you know, am a little bit more hesitant. What I do is I just compress her close to my body so that she knows like she's in a safe place, and then wrap her, and then I give her commands. So if you have an alpha type dog, you don't need to submit them to do this. Just get them used to having you touch their mouth and then command them that this has to happen. And again, like any other training or any other technique you use, consistency is key. So if you're not consistent with your commands, your dog is not going to respond consistently to your commands. So I always use the exact same word, the exact same setup. I get her swaddled, I get her in her chest, I rub her face, and then I go ahead and just say open. It's a very simple command. It's like nothing else that I have her do any other time. So she really recognizes that command, open, with opening her mouth. We're going to brush your teeth now. And then it's just a battle of wills. So, you know, for the purposes of this video, it was really short. I just wanted to demonstrate. But I'll sit here and just have a battle of wills with her until she opens her mouth and starts gnawing on that toothbrush. And that's okay. The more you do that, the more your dog is going to recognize, okay, mommy or daddy's alpha now. Mommy and daddy's telling me a command. This is just how it is. There's no alternative. We're just doing it. So just be really consistent. I usually I have an alarm that goes off on my phone. It says the first of the month. The alarm goes off and it says grooming spa day for my dogs. And that's where I give them their bath. I clip their nails. I clean their ears. And I'll get into in their mouth. So I don't brush my dog's teeth every day. I'm doing it more often right now with my Italian Greyhound because she did go through that scary incident with blood poisoning with her mouth. So we are in a healing phase right now, but then we'll probably go back to kind of once a month once we get that healed. And then on the non-grooming spa days, then we'll be doing more coconut oil to make sure it's not inflamed and it's healing. So if you have any questions, I hope this helped. I hope this video is interesting to you. Like it, please comment and share. I do see that people are starting to see, I can see some comments. Let's see. Thank you, Hannah, for visiting. I love it. Thank you so much. And again, comment below if you have any questions. Feel free to join our private Facebook group called I Speak Dog Training Club, where we ask questions and I try to get you answers for things that might be going on in your household with your pups so you have a happy home. And then also be sure to check out our Instagram page and our YouTube channel. We'll be posting videos there as well. And I look forward to seeing you. Have a great day, and I hope your pack is happy and healthy, and I hope this helped. Thanks. Bye.